In 2018, Forbes magazine published an article of the most famous cryptids from around the world. This list included creatures such as the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Yeti, and Mokele Mbembe. Another creature that was on that list was the Jersey Devil, a legendary creature said to inhabit the forest of Pine Barrens in South Jersey. In a small community in the Pine Barrens lived a woman called Mother Leeds. Mother Leeds had 12 children. After discovering that she was pregnant with her 13th child, she exclaimed in exhaustion and frustration that this child would be the devil. In 1735, she went into labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. She gave birth to a child that appeared completely normal at first, but then the child would begin to transform, and it transformed into a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Growling and screaming, this creature would then beat everyone in the room with its tail before it flew up the chimney and headed into the pines. And that was the birth of the Jersey Devil. The creature that we know as the Jersey Devil was mostly known as the Leeds Devil or the Devil of Leeds prior to the early 1900s. The origin of the name is unclear, but it does have a few different backstories, one of which I already told you. The tale of Mother Leeds is one backstory and probably the most well-known. Another variation of the tale of Mother Leeds say that she was a witch and the child's father was the devil. In this tale, local clergymen would attempt to exorcise the creature from the Pine Barrens without any success, and it's still prowling the area today. In other variations of this tale, Mother Leeds would try to confine the beast to her home, but the creature would grow very quickly, and as it grew, it became more and more vicious. One day, the creature would attack and kill its mother before it escaped into the woods through the chimney. There's also another variation of this legend that say that once upon a time a young woman who lived in Leeds Point fell in love with a British soldier. The British had come to the region because the iron furnaces at Batstow were supplying the privateers. The woman's relationship with this soldier was shunned by the local townsfolk, and they even went as far as cursing the couple. As the woman was pregnant with the soldier's child, it would be that this child would bear the brunt of the curse. So this child would become the beast that became known as the Leeds Devil. In another variation of the tale, tells of a woman who refused to offer any food to a beggar, who would become angry and cursed her in retaliation. The woman would move on and forget all about what happened. Years later, she gave birth to her first child. But the curse caught up with her, and the child would transform into the monster that we know as the Jersey Devil, who then fled into the woods. The circumstances of the birth of the Jersey Devil might differ depending on which variation of the story that you hear. A common thread among all of these stories is a curse. A curse is always the cause of the Jersey Devil. The woman who is known as Mother Leeds have been identified by some as Deborah Leeds. This is because of her husband, Japhet Leeds, who named 12 children in his will. This will was also written in 1736, which matches the timeline given in the legend, which says that the Jersey Devil was born in 1735. This couple also lived in Leeds Point, which is commonly accepted as the birthplace of the Jersey Devil. Though it is unclear why or how this couple and their family would have inspired the legend of the Jersey Devil. In addition to all of the stories about the Jersey Devil, there's also a theory that the origins of this legend came from political intrigue and a rivalry. Namely, the rivalry between Benjamin Franklin and the Leeds family, namely Titan Leeds. Titan Leeds was an American almanac publisher, and his almanac was in competition with Benjamin Franklin's, which was called Poor Richard's Almanac. This began with his father and the Quakers. During the 17th century, English Quakers had established settlements in southern New Jersey. Titan Leeds' father, Daniel Leeds, was a member of the Quakers but would become ostracized in 1687 after he published an almanac which contained astrological symbols and writings. The Quakers felt that astrology was blasphemous, which led to the almanac being censored and even destroyed by the local Quaker community. This didn't stop Daniel Leeds though, and he kept publishing more and more almanacs. He would become increasingly fascinated with topics such as Christian occultism, mysticism, and demonology, all of which were deemed blasphemous by the Quakers. This would lead to Daniel Leeds being called a traitor and being referred to as evil. Eventually, Daniel's son Titan would inherit the almanac business, and eventually he would end up in a competition with Benjamin Franklin. This competition would intensify in 1733, when Franklin satirically claimed that astrological calculations predicted that Titan Leeds would die in October that same year. This prediction offended and angered Titan Leeds, who publicly called Franklin a fool and a liar. This didn't stop Benjamin Franklin though, and he would continue to joke that Titan Leeds was now writing his almanacs as a ghost, and Franklin would continue to refer to Titan Leeds as a ghost, even after Titan Leeds really did die in 1738. So regarding the Jersey Devil, the theory is that Daniel Leeds' publications combined with Benjamin Franklin's trolling of Titan Leeds may have sowed the seeds of the local folk legend that eventually grew into the legend of the Jersey Devil. Even though this possible origin of the legend is more grounded in reality, you can still say that a curse was at the root of the legend. Only it's not a curse of the supernatural kind, but rather a curse uttered in anger at a rival or someone that was deemed blasphemous. Regardless of the origin of the legend or the variations of the legend, there have been numerous sightings and occurrences involving the Jersey Devil over the years. The physical description of this creature has remained consistent through time. It's described as a flying creature with bat-like wings. It has a goat's head, small arms with claws for hands, horns, and a long tail. It's able to move very quickly, and it allegedly emits a high-pitched scream. Sightings of this creature have been reported all over the state of New Jersey, but also in Delaware and Pennsylvania. One sighting of the creature supposedly happened sometime in the 1820s when Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon, allegedly saw the Jersey Devil while he was hunting on his Bordentown estate. Then supposedly around 20 years later in 1840, the Jersey Devil would be blamed for several livestock killings. Then over the course of the following years, there were several reports of similar attacks that had tracks left behind and people claiming that they heard the screams of this creature. During 1 week in January 1909, there were hundreds of encounters published in newspapers all over South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. One encounter claimed that the creature had attacked a social club in Camden, with the police firing at the creature to no effect. Another article wrote that there were mysterious tracks in the snow that could possibly have been made by the creature. There's also been other sightings, such as in July 1937, when an unknown animal with red eyes were seen by residents of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Then there was another sighting in 1951 in Gibbstown, New Jersey, when a group of boys claimed that they had seen a monster. And in 1960, there were reports of tracks and noises heard near Mays Landing that some attributed to the Jersey Devil. And as recently as 2015, a man from southern New Jersey named David Black said that he had captured photographic evidence of this creature. The story goes that when he was driving home from work, he saw what he believed was a llama running around outside. As he got closer to the creature, he pulled out a camera and snapped a photo. It was then that this creature supposedly sprouted wings and took flight from a golf course. Of course, many people doubt this story, and to be perfectly honest, the image looks more like someone attached wings to a puppet that they then threw into the air. And I don't know if the course of events were reported in a weird way, because it kind of sounds like he took a picture, then the creature took off, but the picture has the creature in flight. So did he screw up the timeline, or did he take more than one picture if he actually took pictures of a creature? What do you guys think? As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the Jersey Devil is one of the most famous cryptids in the world. It's a legend that has endured for almost 300 years now. Whether this legend has its origins in the supernatural or in a rivalry between two competing almanac publishers, it's safe to say that the legend of the Jersey Devil is one that doesn't seem like it wants to let go of its grip of people's imaginations.